For decades, scientists believed they knew who the first Americans were, until one DNA test changed everything. Buried in a quiet cave in Mexico, a skeleton revealed genetic traces never seen in modern populations. It wasn't just old, it belonged to a group entirely unknown, long vanished from the face of the earth. This wasn't a tribe that migrated later. This group predates known civilizations like the Olmec and Maya. And what's more, their genes suggest links to people thousands of miles away across the Pacific. Who were these people? Where did they come from? And how did they vanish without a trace? The DNA data stunned researchers. This was no isolated incident, but part of a larger hidden story. These ancient humans carried traits found nowhere else in the Americas today, not even in remote tribes. They may have walked North America thousands of years before the so-called first wave migrations. Artifacts near their remains hint at a complex culture, one that lived, thrived, and then disappeared. Forensic reconstructions show unique features not typical of Native American or even Siberian ancestors. Some believe they may have come from an ancient, seafaring people that predate written history. Others suggest their origins go back to a forgotten human branch, one that died out completely. But if that's true, why do traces of them keep appearing in strange places across the Americas? Get ready to explore the mystery of a civilization erased by time, until DNA brought them back. 1. Discovery in a hidden cave. Researchers uncovered ancient remains in a sealed cave system deep in central Mexico's highlands. The body was well preserved and much older than the civilizations known to have lived in the region. Carbon dating placed the skeleton at over 11,000 years old, far earlier than expected for the area. Tools and bones nearby didn't match anything from known tribes or traditional cultures of the time. It was the beginning of a mystery that would soon rewrite history books across continents. 2. DNA that doesn't match. When geneticists examined the DNA, they found something shocking. It didn't match Native American ancestry. Instead, it carried ancient markers seen only in distant populations from Southeast Asia and Oceania. No one expected to find this link. It shattered the traditional theories of how the Americas were settled. The DNA belonged to a group unrelated to later tribes who migrated from Siberia across the Bering Strait. This person's ancestry came from a branch lost to time and migration records. 3. A forgotten migration route. The discovery hinted that ancient people may have arrived by sea, long before ice bridge crossings. Coastal migration theories gained new attention, suggesting early humans sailed the Pacific Rim. This new group may have reached South America and then migrated north over thousands of years. It means civilization in the Americas could have started earlier and differently than previously thought. Archaeologists now search coastal sites for more signs of these vanished pioneers. 4. Tools unlike any other. Stone tools found with the skeleton were sharp, precise, and crafted using unknown techniques. The designs didn't match Clovis culture or any other early North American technological traditions. Some tools resembled patterns found in parts of Australia and Indonesia thousands of miles away. This raised the theory that tool-making knowledge may have traveled across oceans much earlier. It supports the idea of a connected ancient world more advanced than once imagined. 5. Genetic ghosts in modern DNA. Though this group disappeared, tiny fragments of their DNA still exist in some indigenous communities. These fragments are so diluted, they were invisible until deep genomic sequencing revealed the traces. They're known as genetic ghosts, evidence of people who lived and died without historical memory. These markers prove the group once interbred with later populations before vanishing entirely. They are the silent witnesses to a forgotten era of human history. 6. Not related to known tribes. This ancient group shares no direct ancestry with modern tribes like the Navajo, Cherokee, or Sioux. Genetic testing also rules out links to Inca, Mapuche, or other South American civilizations entirely. Their DNA stands alone, separate, ancient, and isolated from all other known indigenous populations. They may have arrived in the Americas thousands of years before later waves of human migration. Anthropologists now believe they represent a forgotten chapter of early human expansion. The standard migration story, via Bering Land Bridge, is no longer the only narrative on the table. This lost lineage forces us to rethink who the first Americans really were. 7. Their sudden disappearance. This mysterious people built a life, scattered artifacts, and then disappeared completely from the archaeological record. No mass graves, signs of conflict, or widespread disease have been found to explain their vanishing. Some scientists point to abrupt climate shifts that may have collapsed their environment or food supply. Others propose they were outnumbered and absorbed, or wiped out, by later, more dominant human groups. Whatever the cause, their culture ended abruptly, leaving only whispers in genetic fragments. There are no burial mounds, no oral tales, just missing years and lost potential buried in silence. Their DNA is the final message from a people erased by time, remembered only by science. 8. Hints in South American caves. Ancient caves in Brazil and Argentina hold skeletons with unique skull shapes and early tool craftsmanship. Some of these remains are older than North American finds, flipping the migration timeline upside down. This evidence challenges the long-accepted theory that humans migrated from north to south across the Americas. It suggests that early settlers may have entered from different routes, or even evolved separately in the south. Though their culture faded, small clues remain in bone, stone, and soil, awaiting rediscovery. These caves are more than burial sites. They're historical puzzles reshaping what we know about migration. Science is just beginning to trace the vanished paths of these mysterious early inhabitants. 9. A civilization with no name. This unknown people left no stories, carvings, or legends, only bones and tools scattered across ancient soil. They are not linked to any current indigenous group, nor remembered in oral histories or sacred myths. Archaeologists call them a Proto-American group that predates all known civilizations in the Western Hemisphere. They lived, thrived, and vanished long before pyramids, pottery, or permanent settlements ever appeared. Their society vanished so thoroughly, we wouldn't know it existed without ancient DNA evidence. The silence they left behind is louder than any record, a whole world erased by time and nature. Now, modern science is finally giving a voice to a people history tried to forget. What else is buried in the earth, waiting for science to catch up with memory? More skeletons, more tools, more stories hidden in stone and bone may soon come to light. This group lived, thrived, and disappeared before our ancestors even arrived. They were not myths. They were people with language, families, and fears just like ours. Each genome we uncover may be the last echo of a world erased. But now, science has given them a voice again, a whisper from 11,000 years ago. Don't miss the next discovery that rewrites history. Like and subscribe to join the search for our lost human past.